Hey, this is Milty Friedman, and welcome to Securities Showdown. Ken Finnan isn't here yet because he was caught doing the walk of shame out of a Chuck E. Cheese's last night, so he may not be back. Now, back to this Securities Showdown, where big ideas meet even bigger egos. Tonight, we're diving into the epic clash of economic ideologies. Supply-side economics versus Keynesian economics. John Maynard Keynes, the communist. Is cutting taxes and regulation the way to prosperity, or do we need government spending and intervention to drive demand? Joining us are Sarah, a diehard supply-side advocate, and Mark, a staunch Keynesian. Buckle up, it's about to get messy. Okay, Sarah, we're going to start with you. Why is supply-side economics the superior approach?
Well, first of all, take a look at my background. I'm in Davos for the Economic World Forum. I love it. I'm so happy we're meeting so many people. We're making differences in the world. But let's get back to this. Supply-side economics works because it puts power back where it belongs, in the hands of businesses and individuals. You cut taxes, reduce regulation, watch the economy grow. Keynesians, like Mark, think the government spending solves everything, but all it does is create debt and waste.
Right, because nothing screams economic stability like giving corporations a tax holiday while the middle class struggles. Supply-side economics is trickle-down nonsense. Keynesian economics focuses on the real driver of growth, demand. You can't stimulate an economy by making the rich richer, Sarah.
Oh, here we go with the class warfare. Supply-side policies create jobs and innovation by incentivizing investment. Keynesian economics just throws money at problems and hopes for the best. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work.
Incentivizing investment, you mean giving tax cuts to the CEOs so they can buy back their own stock? Keynesian policies builds roads, schools, and infrastructure. Real investments that benefit everyone, not just the shareholder. Okay, Mark, let's talk about the role of the government. Keynesian theory leans on government spending to boost demand. Doesn't that lead to inefficiency? Not if it's done right. Strategic government spending creates jobs and drives economic growth. When private sector demand dries up, the government steps in to fill the gap. Supply-siders like Sarah want to leave everything to the free market, even when it's collapsing.
Collapsing? The only thing collapsing is your argument, Mark. Government spending is inherently wasteful. Bureaucrats aren't job creators. Businesses are. Cut their taxes, get out of their way, and watch the economy soar. Keynesians just create dependency and bloated deficits. Spend, spend, spend.
And supply-siders create income inequality and economic instability. Cutting taxes doesn't magically grow the economy, Sarah. It just shifts the burden onto workers while infrastructure crumbles. You call it freedom. I call it short-sighted greed.
Of course, spoken like someone who's never signed the front of a paycheck. Supply-side economics empowers entrepreneurs and innovators. Keynesians just empower bureaucrats and lobbyists. Big government doesn't solve problems. It is the problem.
Let's go with some real-world examples. Let's talk history, Sarah. Where has supply-side economics worked in practice?
Easy. Reaganomics. The 1980s saw booming growth, lower unemployment, and innovation thanks to tax cuts and deregulation. Meanwhile, Keynesian policies gave us a stagflation of the 70s. The results speak for themselves.
Economics, more like deficitonomics. Those tax cuts blew up the national debt, Sarah. If you want a real success, look at the New Deal. Government spending pulled America out of the Great Depression and created decades of prosperity. Supply-siders can't say the same.
Sure, Mark. Let's spend money we don't have and call it prosperity. Reagan's policies unleashed private sector growth, while Keynesian's policy just ballooned government debt. The New Deal, it prolonged the Depression. It wasn't until World War II ramped up production that the economy recovered. Don't forget what Reagan said. The worst words you can hear are, "We're from the government and we're here to help you."
Wow. Rewriting history much, Sarah? Keynesian policy didn't just fix the Depression. They gave us Social Security, public works, and a stronger middle class. Supply-side policies gave us income inequality and economic crashes. Great legacy. Hey, Mark, critics say Keynesian policies can lead to inflation. How do you address that? Inflation is manageable with a smart policy. Supply-siders like Sarah conveniently ignore how their tax cuts disproportionately benefit the wealthy, leaving everyone else to pick up the slack. Keynesian policies create a balanced growth that benefits the entire economy.
Balanced growth? Is that what you call skyrocketing inflation? Keynesian spending sprees devalue currency and punish savers. Supply-side policies grow the pie for everyone. Keynesian just slices it up until there's nothing left.
And supply-siders pretend their pie magically grows on its own. Tax cuts for the rich don't trickle down. They just create bigger yachts, Meanwhile, workers struggle with the stagnant wages and higher costs. Thanks, Sarah.
Maybe workers wouldn't struggle if the government stopped taxing them into oblivion to fund bloated programs. Supply-side policies create real wealth, Mark, not just IOUs for future generations.
Hold on. I'm just getting word. We have a surprise guest. Let's welcome laissez-faire economics, Ludwig von Mises. Who let this guy in? Hey, everybody. By the way, Sarah, I'd much rather be lying out on this beach than hang out in cold Switzerland. But listen, finally, you let some insanity into this circus. Sarah and Mark, you're both delusional. The government has no business meddling in the economy. No taxes, no spending, no regulations. Just let the invisible hand of the market do its job.
Please, are you kidding me? The invisible hand? That's not a plan. It's a fairy tale. Markets need structure or you get chaos. Even supply-siders like me know there's a role for the government, especially in maintaining property rights and national security.
Holy cow. I never thought I'd agree with Sarah on anything. But she's right. This invisible hand nonsense is a recipe for disaster. No regulation means monopolies, exploitation, and economic collapse. We tried laissez-faire in the 19th century, and it gave us a robber barons and child labor. Thanks, but no thanks. Oh, bros, here we go with the fear-mongering. The invisible hand isn't a fairy tale. It's how markets naturally balance themselves. Businesses compete, consumers choose, and efficiency prevails. Every time the government steps in, it just distorts the market and makes things worse.
Compete? More like crush. Without any rules, the biggest players rig the system. Do you think Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk are just going to play nice and let the little guys thrive? Even supply-side economics knows you need guardrails, or the invisible hand becomes an iron fist.
Exactly. And let's not pretend the invisible hand cares about workers or public goods. Without government intervention, we'd have no schools, no infrastructure, no safety nets, just pure chaos. Your laissez-faire utopia is a dystopian nightmare. And yet, despite all your government programs, we still have inefficiency and inequality. What does that tell you? The invisible hand works best when it's free to move without bureaucrats or central planners screwing it up.
Yeah, because nothing screams efficiency like unregulated monopolies gouging customers. Let's not forget the invisible hand needs a visible referee. Without rules, the markets don't just balance, they implode.
And without government, we don't have an economy. We have anarchy. The invisible hand is just an excuse for doing nothing while people suffer. Real economists know markets need oversight to work for everyone. Real economists like Keynes, who thought government could spend its way out of every problem, or supply-siders who think tax cuts are a magic wand. The only thing the government does efficiently is get in the way. You put them in charge of a desert, they'll be out of sand in a week. Whew, that got heated. So here's where we landed. Supply-side economics trusts businesses to grow the economy with fewer taxes and regulations. Keynesian economics leans on government spending to drive demand. And laissez-faire wants to unleash the invisible hand to solve everything, no matter how messy it gets. Whether you believe in cutting taxes, boosting spending, or stepping back entirely, one thing's clear. The debate is not going away anytime soon. Thanks to Sarah, Mark, and Ludwig. Join us next time on Securities Showdown. And remember, watch out for the invisible hands and the iron fists alike. Hey, that was hilarious. That's awesome. Very educational. Very educational. Happy Tuesday. I see a couple of wins in here. I was scrolling through the chat. It is outstanding. Welcome on. Don't forget we have Jeff helping out on the back end of shit. And if you have any questions on anything like how to get into the memberships or anything, go. Here's his email. I had it. There it is. That's his email, jeff@capitalvantagetutoring.com. He will help you out and set you straight. Okay. Now, a couple of things real quick we want to get rid of. First of all, there's a lot of free resources out there. We have the Facebook group, which is FINRA and Test Prep Network. There's like 7,500 people in there. So many people starting groups. We have a private chat for each test. You don't have to watch the other shit. I mean, every day there's 5 or 6 people talking about how they passed and kind of what they felt and what their process was. It was great. And the fails. We support everyone who fails. Getting in there. Go check out Brandon Rith over at Basic Wisdom. He's his YouTube channel. We got Achievable. Now, if you guys have a resource already, but if you haven't, check out Achievable. They are outstanding. I have a link somewhere in here. It's either in here or one of my videos. If not, just go to achievable.me. It doesn't really matter. They're really good. And if you're a student still, then you can email them and they'll give you a student discount. But again, Chivo.me, they're awesome. No one teaches this shit better than them. I swear to God. Like I'm saying this, don't even use my, what do you call it? My link. That's how good they are. I just want you to fucking use them. Okay. Also, if you need tutoring, obviously my website, you go there. I can do that. I have a couple tutors on there. I'm adding 2 more in the next week or so. And then a third one in about 3 weeks. And then I got a couple more in the pipeline. But if you don't need help there, if I don't have it, you don't like my style, whatever it is, if you don't like my style, get the fuck off my live. But if you do want to go another way, there's a guy, Michael Weiss, Series 7 exam tutor.com. He's outstanding, super organized, really good, has a CFA, was in the business like me, which is great. Okay. It always helps to have someone who's in the business because we see this shit from a different angle. Like that's the only thing. Like when I talk about bonds, Jeff, I can see him tensing up because I talk about a test world and he's a bond guy for a bond salesman, but for the longest time. So when I say something, he goes, oh, that's not right. And it doesn't matter because it's not real world versus test world. I'm getting you to pass the test with some knowledge. And then I'm not worried about the actual 100% truth as far as what goes on in the real world. I just need you to get a fucking 72. That's all I need. Okay. Now, couple good things. Pablo Benza. Okay, this is what I tell everyone. Yes, I appreciate that you say that is all because of me, but we all know this. Everyone knows this, and I'll take credit where it happened, and I probably helped you. But if you don't do the work, you're not passing. If I have a guy who wants me to turn him, just hold his hand the whole way, it's not going to happen. That's not me. But 2, that is no way you're not going to pass the test. Pablo, you did the work. You earned it. You nailed that. And since you have a Spanish name, I'm going to go with, let's see. There we go. Boom, baby. I love it. Okay. Okay, here we go. ADRs in Canadian dollar. Okay, so here's the deal. So if I buy, what is an ADR, Marianne Memon? Okay, so now, there's a lot of fucking M's in that name. Okay, so now, I'm trying to look. Of course, that's what do they call that? When it goes forward and backwards the same way? Do you remember? It's, I don't know what it is. It's like, it's not a homonym. It's like, but anyway, Mary Ann and Mary M, her name goes back, but it's back and forth. At least the first name. Okay. Now, do you know what I'm talking about? Yes. Okay. Exactly. So I forgot what it's called. Everyone's like, I know what it is. I'm going to say it. Anyway, so I see patterns sometimes. I see dead people. Now, so ADRs are when a foreign security, so instead of a foreign security dealing with our SEC and listing and registering here, what they can do is have a U.S. bank, like say we have Bank of America has an office in Quebec, and they buy shares of a Canadian, whatever you call it, a Canadian company. I'm gonna call it Molson Beer, right? Okay, they're probably owned by AB Bavaria, a U.S. company, but let's pretend they're still Canadian. So, instead of Molson issuing shares in the U.S., Bank of America with a branch in Quebec will buy a bunch of shares of Molson, of the shares, and package it, and then sell the package in the U.S. as an ADR. And when you have that, and buy an ADR, not only do you have systematic and non-systematic risk, you have political risk, like what's going on now, and currency risk because the Canadian dollar goes up and down. So if I have a foreign security, I'm worried that their currency will drop. Like say there's a palindrome there. Thank you very much. Okay. So now, now you know there's a chat and everything. So now, so think about what's going on now, right? So if I'm worried that Canada, through this tariff war and becoming idiots, is going to lose horribly to the U.S., that their dollar is going to drop. Now, what's going to happen is that when they pay their dividends, it's going to be worth less of the U.S. currency, okay? So what happens is you're getting these dividends from these beer sales, and it's coming into the U.S., but it's buying less U.S. dollars, so you're going to get hurt. So if you invest outside the U.S., you're going to buy puts on the foreign currency. So if you think this trade war is going to hurt the Canadians more than it hurts the U.S., which it probably will, you'd buy puts on the U.S. on the Canadian dollar. Now remember, there are no options on the U.S. currency. So if you think the dollar is going up, you have to buy puts on the foreign currency. If you think the dollar is going down, you have to buy calls on the foreign currency. Always remember, whatever you're doing, and I just did a foreign currency video, like literally 20 minutes ago, I posted a foreign currency epic video, which will help you. So watch that, Miss Palindrome, Maryam. Okay, now. Okay. Now. I don't know the answer. So Alex, unless you posted it, well, I'll have to come back to it. But let's do this. Let's go over the reasons you wouldn't get a breakpoint. How about that? Even though I don't know what the question is, I don't think I see it anywhere. Do you? Oh, there it is. I'll get to it in a minute. Let me roll down. Rep tells customer that although investing in mutual funds has many advantages, there are some risks, including generally greater risk for the portfolio. That has nothing to do with breakpoints, is it? Okay. We'll come back to that one. I want to stick with this one. I want to stay in order. So what could be a reason you don't get a breakpoint? Okay. If you have a brother who lives away from you, remember that. If you have a brother, even though they're immediate family, but they don't live with you, the mutual fund is not giving you a breakpoint. If you do a letter of intent and the fund grows into a breakpoint, but you don't actually put enough money into the breakpoint, you're not getting a breakpoint. If you put money in and then take it out, if you take it out of money to put you below the breakpoint, you don't get the breakpoint. If you are an investment club and the club puts enough money to the breakpoint, you don't get the breakpoint because they don't honor investment clubs. So I don't know what your question is, Alex, on the breakpoints, but I'm going with this. The reason you would have a breakpoint, one, you have it in two different mutual funds. Two, they're not really related. Okay. Three, you don't get to your letter of intent. Four, you put money in and then you withdraw the money that puts you back below. Or it's a B share or a C share. How about that? So I don't know what your questions are, but that's kind of the way it wouldn't get a breakpoint. Oh, and the investment club share. Okay. No, Hussein. Okay. Okay. So a closed-end fund, I assume it would be a normal X day. So in a closed-end fund trades like a stock. So you settle T+1, it's the same. Here's the problem with the mutual fund one. So when they changed the settlement from T+2 to T+1 on May 28th last year, they said if you read the rule, it goes blah, blah, blah for all securities except for mutual funds, because mutual funds can set their own X date. They can say usually it's going to be the day after. Like if you buy it on the record date, you're probably going to get the dividend. But that's not a rule. They can make the X date whenever they want. So I don't think they'll test that, other than saying which one of these is not subject to normal settlement, and that would be mutual funds. Okay, mutual funds are not subject to normal settlement. That's really what it is. But I assume in a closed-end fund, it's just like a stock. Its X date's going to be the same as a record date because it is T+1. Hope that helps a little bit. I don't want to get. My problem is it's a weird thing with that. Okay. Minsure. Oh yeah, Krista, laissez-faire. You were listening. How great is that? Somebody actually listened to my little skit. Okay. By the way, you know who the woman was, right? Okay, so now, past my SIE, about to take my 63. Boom, I love it. Minsure. Since I haven't seen you before, let's take a little vacation. Gosh, I hope any of you guys know what that movie is. You feel really old if you don't, but that's Chevy Chase in Vacation. Now, so you're taking the 63. Here's the thing when you're taking the 63. I know it's not 63 night, but hear me out. You got to read the book once or twice straight through. Then just take tests until your eyes bleed. The learning curve on the 63 looks like this. Horrible, horrible, horrible test, horrible test. Good, 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 bang, it goes up. It's just amazing how it's like the week before the test, everyone's freaking out. And then like 2 days before, they're passing and then they kill it. But here's the one thing about the 63. Act like it's a hard test. It's not so hard, but act like it's hard and you'll pass. If you act like it's easy, you will fail. I promise you that. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm sort of a big fan of laissez-faire too, but nobody goes with me on that one. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. A rep tells customer, although investing in mutual funds has many advantages, there are some risks, including generally greater risk with a portfolio of individual muni bonds than with a muni bond fund. Okay, so here's the deal. Right, so remember, so here's why this is wrong. So they're saying the difference between John, I'll get you on that. John Snow, I'll get you on that. So now, the difference between a muni bond fund and muni bonds, okay, it's still investing in muni funds. So you both have inflation risk because you're investing in fucking bonds. If you invest in a bond, you have inflation and purchase amount risk, whether it's a fund or just a bunch of bonds, okay? What you don't have, remember something, I just was talking to a guy today about this. Muni bonds are not liquid. On their own, they trade like shit. Like literally they could trade once a month. Because it's a limited, not everyone can buy them because not everyone's rich enough to get them. And they're just boring as shit. So they don't trade a lot. So muni bonds have a lot of liquidity risk. And if you try to sell it, it might take you a couple of days if you don't want to get ripped off. Okay. So, but muni bond funds are mutual funds which don't have liquidity risk. Remember that muni bond funds do not have liquidity risk because it's a mutual fund. There we go. Ted, I appreciate it. I have like 5 of those. I have a list of ones I'm trying to do. I just had to wait. See, because I was going to do, instead of doing the girl cartoon, I was going to do it myself with a wig, which I may do at one point. My grandson was trying to get into a school, and I didn't want them researching and saying, wait, is this your grandfather acting like a woman? So I didn't think I wanted to do that. So I figured I'd wait. Now that he's in, I think I'm safe, even though luckily my family refuses to watch my videos, because one time I did a TikTok, and remember, guys, don't forget, I have Series 7 exam, Series 7 Whisper on Instagram, and Series 7 Whisper on TikTok. I have like over almost 21,000 people on TikTok, and Instagram is just a slow fucking grind, but it's getting there. But I did a video with like one of those overlays with the bear on my back, but I forgot, I was talking about bearish market, something like that. And like literally the second word out of my mouth was MF, right? And my daughter is out in the yard with her kid. He's like 3. I mean, he's like 4 at the time. And she starts screaming because she put it on. She thought the bear would be cute, but I cursed. And she goes, you're cursing on the, I said, yeah, do you not know me? I said, literally, you want to blame me for that shit? You're the one who opened up the fucking video. You shouldn't have done that. But anyway, okay, now. So I know that they don't want, ever since then, they refuse to watch my stuff. Okay. Yes, here's the thing. So my membership thing, I don't have extra videos. But John, what we do is we meet every Sunday night. Well, I'm coaching lacrosse starting this weekend, so it's probably going to be 6:30. But it's 6 or 6:30 every Sunday night. We do an hour-long class. And it's funny, I had like 15 people in it, maybe 10 people in it about a month ago. They all passed. So now I have one person. The girl Karen, she's literally getting a one-on-one session for the hour for $160 a month. And literally, as Jeff tells me, I need to raise my fucking prices. But this is what I say to him. Do you remember what the CEO of Costco said about the hot dogs? Do you remember the line, what he says? Jeff, do you remember what he said about the hot dogs?
He's never going to increase the price.
He said, if you raise them, I'll fucking kill you. That's what he said. So these hot dogs are $1.50. Either that or was it the Arizona iced tea? It was one of them. But either way.
It was hot dogs.
It was the hot dogs, right? Yeah, that's right. But eventually I'll start being greedy. Okay, here we go. Lily. Now, she got me today because she texted me telling me, she goes, I failed. And I'm like, she was no way she failed. So I started saying, oh, it's all right. And then she sent me the picture of her passing. So because there's April Fools, she got me. She definitely got me on that. Lily, congratulations. I am so happy for you. She was in my Friday night classes. She had a great study group. That's another thing. These Friday night classes you do with the membership, right? So if you go to you can email Jeff, he'll tell you how to do it. But if you go to press my button, baby, it's called the join button. And you go in there and there's a bunch of choices. And if you join this serious study group, you get one FINRA class and all my options videos. If you jump it up to the $50 a month one, you get an options class on Friday night, a 7 class, and then all my options videos. And you get to see a lot of the old classes because I repost them for the members. It's pretty cool. I think it helps. It's good, and it helps. And Lily was in it, but she ended up meeting 2 or 3 women, and they did a study group, and she rocked this thing. But on that note, Lily, here we go. I don't want that one. Sorry. Here we go.
Gotta get that. Gotta get that. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta get that. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta get that. Boom, boom.
Boom, 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 baby. My internet sometimes gets a little sketchy, but that's okay. We're going to live. Okay. Okay, let's keep moving. We're going to keep rolling. Okay. Oh, hey, my FDU lacrosse guy. Okay. Oh, Lonra's great. I fucking love Lonra. He's great. He's always on that. Brittany, we're going to get to. Brittany, that's awesome. Hold on. Now, what's going on taking the 66 tomorrow? So what do I say? Get the fuck off my live. Drew, get the fuck off my live. Go watch my crash course, get some sleep, and go rock this thing and come in on Thursday and tell me you're going to crush it. No last minute tips. Just watch the crash course. That's going to help you the most, okay? And other thing is read every question. I wish I could move our link up a little higher, but I just can't. Okay. So Jeff always gets blocked out by the words. So keep it short so it doesn't block him out. I think he gets everyone wants to look at his face. He even shaves for this now. Okay. Okay. So the tips are read the fucking question. Read every single word and don't worry about the math. Okay. Look at this. Look in a row. Brittany. It's Brittany, bitch. Okay, now. Here, we're going to Funky Town.
I want you to take me to Funky Town. Won't you take me to?
That is outstanding, Brittany. On April Fool's Day, fuck FINRA, right? Oh, I'm just kidding. No, fuck FINRA. Boom. I love it. Guys, anyone taking the 7? I just put out part 1 and the other one's coming out in a day or two. Part 1 of the Series 7 massive. Now I'm going to do the 3 parts and then I'm going to bind it into one 6-hour video, which tells you it's 3 2-hour videos. It's literally me just going over terms and definitions and explaining them in normal English. And I'm doing it not alphabetical this time. I'm doing it by product, like, customer accounts, options, equities, bonds. I'm just going through all the definitions so you can just sit there and let it run behind you. I'm getting a lot of good feedback for it. It's going to help. And everyone who's taking the 7, even the SIE, I think it'll help you. Boom, let's go, baby. And now, Brittany, let's go for the 66. Look at this, 3 in a row. We go last week with hardly anyone. Now we get everyone. Dave, I appreciate it. But, again, as I tell everyone, it wasn't me. It was you. I helped, but you got there. What is this one? Can I do this one? That's my later. Okay, hold on. Ooh, what's that one?
Shut up in your face.
Oh, that's the one I want to insult people. Oh, here. Boom, Dave. I love it. That's awesome. Now, by the way, okay. Lily, Brittany, Dave, and Angela, you're next. Did you see anything? Did anything surprise? I don't care what's on it. Did anything surprise you? That's what I want to know. Was there anything on there that surprised you on the exam? That's what I really want to know. Well, I see Paula. She passed too. This is a lot of stuff. We're very happy here.
Gotta get that. Gotta get that.
I love it, Angela. That is outstanding. Again, Angela, we're gonna nail this 7 next time. Find my videos, do the playlist, but find the videos where I do all the terms. I just put it out like yesterday, and it's gonna be part 1, 2, 3. It's gonna help you out a lot. Okay, and we got one more. That's it for that. Paula, now I helped her out for the 65 many moons ago, and then she just came back and she passed this anagram maybe too. It's an anagram also, right?
There must be a difference. I think one's a
maybe.
number, maybe one's a word.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay. So polish, and then she passed the SIE, I think the other day, which is outstanding. I love it. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Jake Harvey. Okay. What's up, Ken? Be great. SIE new week. Okay. Let's talk about this. Okay. So now, our best bet for the last week, since we're a week out, I'm okay saying this. Remember something. You have to make sure that you have the investment risk on. You have to get the investment risk on. There's no way around that. You must have the investment risk cold, okay? Secondly, you have to make sure that you have what the register rep can and cannot do. So my SIE crash course, I have those videos in that playlist. There's like 10 of them, and I definitely address that, okay? But make sure you got the risks, and you don't want to give them up. And the FINRA stuff, associated person, prohibited activities, the prohibited activities is kind of interesting to read. But the FINRA associated person rules are kind of boring, but you just got to get through it. Keep taking tests every day, but not the day before. Remember that. Paula, that's right. Okay, so now you joining the 7 group. It's going to be good. Okay, so now here we go. The Series 65, 66 at 6 p.m. Eastern. The FINRA class only, not the options, is at 7 p.m. Eastern. The opciones is at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so FINRA is at 7, options is at 8. All Eastern. And if you want the options, it's $50 a month. If you want just the FINRA class and the options videos, it's $25. If you just want the options videos, it's $20. I'm getting a lot of good feedback on those things. Okay, I may even update a couple of them. Okay. Now, TED Tower. Okay. Haktua, TED Tower. Okay, so now, taking 7 tomorrow, what else should I write on my whiteboard aside from the bond triangle teeter-totter? The options matrix. I have a video on this somewhere. Options matrix, slobs over bliss, maybe the margin formula, the Mr. Desby or whatever you want to use to do margin. Other than that, don't overthink it. I mean, maybe you're at Epic, but again, it's all one-offs. That's a problem. The ones that are the big hitters are options, bonds, right? And the slobs over bliss, maybe, and then stuff like that. And then the margin stuff. But other than that, I mean, they're all like, you may get a lot or not. I mean, maybe write Dato 15 on it. Remember, for option opening an options account, disclosure, then approval, then trade, then option agreement 15 days later. But here's my advice to everyone taking a test. This is the one thing I like to write on the board. Write on big fucking block letters, write the word accept. EXCEPT, accept. Write it on there. And every time you see an accept question, every single time you see an accept question, I want you to take your hand off the mouse and put it on that word. Because what happens is, I've done it where I'm reading a question, I got it, and I forget it's an accept question. So that's why I'm going to say take my hand off the mouse, put it there, so that when you go to answer the question, you have to take your hand off the word, and it's going to remind you that accept. I can't fucking speak. It's going to remind you that it's an accept question, and then you're going to be fine. It's going to remind you, oh my God, I forgot about that. So try that tomorrow, and just use it. I had one guy, he came at me after, and he goes, it helped me on like 8 questions. He said, I caught myself 8 times on this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Jeffrey Silverman, do you mean the interest rate calls? Is that what TYX is? Okay. Took your advice to just read the Kaplan textbook for Series 7 instead of worrying about taking notes and everything. Yeah, it's amazing, right? It's amazing. So I'm going to say this again. So if we read this, right? So instead of just taking notes, you learn to read, and it's reading the Q banks and flashcards. It's amazing how much if you don't take notes. Now, understand something. I came up with this idea because I'm fucking lazy, okay? I'm really lazy. I don't like writing notes. So I decided that that's a better way to do it. No, I'm kidding. So it really does work, because what happens is you're getting the picture. Instead of writing notes where you're just memorizing everything like in college, but hold on, professor, slow down, I need to write that. You're just memorizing. I want you to learn the big picture, because if you get the big picture, you can work through the problems. If you memorize buzzwords, what happens, if all you do is memorize buzzwords, is then what happens is then you just, when they throw a curve at you, you're like, I don't know how to handle the curve, okay? So we don't want trouble with the curve. We want you to be good with that. So if you learn the big picture stuff and understand what they're saying, it's easier to get the little stuff. Like I know this stuff cold because I understand it. I'm not that smart. I mean, I'm not dumb, but I'm not ridiculously smart. So what happens is, once I learn the stuff, the other stuff I can work through. I can, like, you see it and you understand it, and you can wrap your head around it. You kind of want to look at everything from like every angle. And then if you do that and you understand it, you'll be fine. So yes, Rachel, we got this, baby. Okay. Now I assume
30-year.
They're yield based. They're yield based. So just making sure. So that's probably what the thing. So understand something. This is what people don't understand. When we talk about yield based options, okay, or interest rate options, yeah, past perfect. Remember something. I like past perfect, but I hate them at the same time, because anything to do with math, I don't know. Anytime there's a number in a question, they get weird. Okay, their option questions are goddamn ridiculous, like ridiculoso. So what I know is that whenever somebody does past perfect options, They walk into the test and they're fucking annoyed because you're like, why did I work so hard learning this stupid complicated shit when the questions are not easy, but they're much more straightforward. So here's the thing on this. In interest rate options, you're betting on the index, not the bond. I got to say that again. Interest rate options, you're betting on the interest rate, not the bond. So if you think that interest rates are going up, you buy interest rate calls. If you think interest rates are going down, you buy interest rate puts. Because you're buying it on the rates, not the bonds. So if I have a 7%, if interest rates are 7 right now, that equates to a 70 strike price. If the rates are 6.5, that equates to a 65. So if rates are 7 and you think they're going up, you buy a 70 call, which is like a 7% call. If they go over 7% plus your premium, you will make money, okay? So the whole point is that you're trying to, most of the time, interest rate options are hedging. So if you have a bond or a preferred or fixed income portfolio, you are worried that the rates are going to go up because your price will go down. So what you're going to do is you're going to buy interest rate calls so that if the rates go up, you make enough money on the calls to offset what you're losing on the bonds. Because remember, rates go up, bond prices go down. So you're going to lose money on the bonds, but hopefully you make it up on the calls. You're hedging. Hope that helps a little bit, Jeff. Okay. There you go. Michael Weiss is a big one. Yeah, he's about half my cost. So like on my group, there's about 3 or 4 tutors, and people ask for tutors, and then people apologize because they go, because there's somebody say, oh, try out Taylor or Michael or whatever it is. And they think I'm a man. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Rising tide lifts all boats, baby. Get help. I just want you guys to fucking pass. Okay. Now, Andrew Denon. Can I go over suitability for A, B, and C? Yes, I can. So now, Class A is a front-end load. You pay a sales charge up front. You pay a low 12B1 fee, so ongoing fees are lower. Your expense ratio is lower. And you get breakpoints. So Class A, and what are breakpoints? The more you put in, the less you pay. So if you have breakpoints, okay, I didn't realize I was 20 minutes behind. That's fucking great. So now, if the breakpoints, if you put a lot of money in, you get breakpoints. So think of Class A is for long-term, lot of money. Long-term, lot of money. That's where we're going with that. So if you have if you have invest in Class A, you are trying to invest for the long haul, and you have enough money to hit a breakpoint. So Class A, long-term, lot of money. Most of the time, A is the better one anyway because you get breakpoints, but we'll come back to that. Now, B shares, you pay on the way out. So and every year you stay, you pay a little bit less because they got fees out of you and stuff like that. But your 12B1 fees and expense ratio are a little bit higher than the A. So this is good for like mid to long, like 5 to 10 years. Now, a lot of places don't even sell B shares anymore, but they used to. If you had B shares, after 10 years, they would turn into A. So B shares are for like midterm, and it's not about how much money you put in because there's no breakpoints, because there's no way to do breakpoints in the back end. C shares have no share. They have no. What am I trying to say? Sales charges. Wow. Don't get old, people. Do not get old. Don't get old and have ADD because we don't know if it's dementia or just ADD. I'm not sure which. So C shares are no sales charge, but you're going to pay a very high 12B1 fee every year. So it's almost like a level load. Every year you're paying like 1% or 0.75% on your fund. And remember, hopefully they go up in value. So that number they're charging you is getting bigger and bigger because your assets are going up. So C shares, I keep wanting to say seashells. So C shares are for short-term investing. It's for investing on like maybe 1 or 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years because you're paying an ongoing fee. So it's short-term. Again, A shares, we care about how much money you're putting in. B and C, we don't. We care about your time frame. Now, the last one is a no load. A no load has no front or sales charge, obviously, because sales charge and sales load mean the same thing. But they can't, here's the thing. This is where they trick you. They can charge a 12B1 fee, but it can't be more than 0.25%, or they use the words 25 basis points, okay? So you can have a 12B1 fee, but it can't be more than 0.25 basis points. 0.25 interest rate or 25 basis points, okay? Okay, now again, we got this. Remember, it's 7 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So James, any relation to Josh? Yeah, there won't be as many suitability questions. There will be some, and remember, it's only 50 questions, so even 10 is a lot, right? Not nearly as much as a 7, but they will be on there for sure. Okay, and yes, mutual funds and annuities are the biggest. Okay, it's there will be, so the 6 is going to have mutual funds, annuities, communications, and customer accounts correspondence. Those, if you nail those 5 things, which is not easy, you nail those, you'll be fine. But make sure that you are solid forwards and backwards on mutual funds and annuities, variable annuities and fixed, and qualified and not qualified. Okay. And yes, that's the thing. A lot of in there. Okay. Angela, that's pretty interesting. Somebody read that. That's awesome. I didn't know she read it. Did I know she sang it? I don't know. I mean, maybe I did when I was 10. Okay. Now, is it necessary for the SIE to memorize the different rep designations? Not really, but let's go through them. Okay. First of all, the SIE gives you nothing. It's literally just nothing. It's nothing. Okay. It's just a co-requisite. 6 lets you do mutual funds and annuities. 7 is general. You can basically sell anything. The 9, 10 is for branch manager. The 14 is a compliance officer for New York Stock Exchange. Let's forget that. Let's not go there. So SIE, nothing. 6, limited registration, mutual funds and annuities. 7, everything. 9, 10, branch manager. 24, principal. 63 is for aides, and 65 is for IARs, and 66 is for both. And the 99 is for back office. If you don't even need to know all them, just make sure you know what the 7 does and the SIE does. Okay. Yeah, I love that song, Holly Road. Back to the old days. With now it's funny, Anthony Michael Hall was a kid in there, right? He's now in the new Reacher show. So he's on a bunch of, so he's one of the main characters in series 3 of Reacher, which is a great series. Okay. I have to take my SIE in 3 weeks, and I've read through the Gicho and Kaplan. Okay. You're taking it 3 weeks. I would spend a week to 8 or 9 days, how exact, of doing chapter quizzes, unit quizzes, chapter quizzes, and anything under 70, reread the chapter or listen. Now, what's cool about Achievable is they have a listen to it button where you don't have to read. You can press the button and it reads it to you. So for the next 8 to 10 days, do chapter quizzes. Then anything under 70, reread. If you get to the point where you're nailing everything above 70, then start doing finals. That's your best bet. Okay. Remember this. You just missed by 2 points. The worst thing you can do is think backwards. Don't think 2 points. Think I missed it by 32. And here's the thing. Remember something. It's a 30-day problem and a 20-year career. I keep saying it's a 30-day problem and a 20-year career. Remember that, okay? So the reason I say that is that in 6 months, when you're done with the 6 and the 63 and the 65, whatever, this will be a funny story. That's all it's going to be. So, but here's the thing. So it's 30 days, which is both a short time and a long time. So here's what I tell everyone to do. Act like you missed it by 32, not 2, and go back and just read the book cover to cover, whatever it is. If it's Past Perfect, good luck to you. But if it's STC or Kaplan or Achievable, just act like you're brand new. Just study. Just read the book from cover to cover. Then start doing chapter quizzes. Then start doing finals. That's the best way. Now, I tell everyone, if you always want to take 1 or 2 days off after a miss, right? So if you miss, you want to take a what do you call it? A few days off. Now, what I do have a little thing prepared for when you do fail. Let's see if I can get it right. This is it. This is how you feel, I'm sure.
They won't be reaching out for you no more. Don't tell my heart, my aching, breaking heart. I just don't think.
There we go, baby. It's all good. Remember, it's all joke. When you're done, here's the big thing to tell you. Once you pass, nobody gives a shit that you failed. Literally, it is, once you pass, it's like, oh, good, you got through the gate, good. It's not a flex. That's why nobody really cares about your score. They don't have the score anymore because nobody gives a shit. Anyone who flexes about their scores, it's got nothing else going on in their life. Okay. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there you go. Lily, I agree. This is the thing. I'm telling you right now. The Friday night options class, after you watch my videos, will save you. It's a great group of people. Even we used to call it the Friday night wine club because by 8 o'clock at night, everyone's down in a couple glasses of wine. It's a lot of fun. We end up going longer than 9 half the time, even though I'm waiting to eat dinner after that. But it's a great group of people. And what I've noticed, and this is a thing, this is very sexist to me. Women are the smart ones because they're always the one who join the groups. And they always ask for help, and they join study groups. Men are cocky assholes. There's always a couple men in there, but it's mostly women. Who would ever thought at my age I find myself surrounded by a bunch of beautiful women? Okay. Now, if I was only 25 or 30 teaching this shit, okay, it'd be like shooting fish in a barrel. Okay, now, currently waiting on sponsorship to take the 6. It's a complicated process. I haven't found much info. The firm sponsoring me doesn't seem to be too familiar with this. Let me try that again. Currently waiting on sponsor to take the 6. Is this a complicated process? No. So if you work for a broker dealer, then they should be able to. All they have to do is get your U4. They fill that out. All they do is go onto U4, check off FINRA license, check off Series 6, hit send, and you're sponsored. The next day it's open. Okay, let's see what that is. Okay. Watch your serios. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. I know, too lucky. It's unlucky, but it's fine. So what you're going to do is so you missed your 63 today. It's okay. Don't worry about it too much. Focus on take a couple of days. The problem is with the 63s, you can't really study for 30 days for it, okay? It's very hard to study for the 63 for 30 days. So I want you to take a week off, then start reading the book cover to cover, then do quizzes, and then do them till they're blind. Find my 63 playlist. Maybe watch that again. While you're reading, maybe watch that, and we go from there. Okay. So max gain, max loss, break even, and a covered put. Okay. So a covered put is short stock, short a put. So I'm not going to do it on the board. So let's imagine this. Okay. So if I'm short, I should have had my screen here and done that. So if I'm short stock and short a put, so everyone write this down. Jeffrey Les Silverman. I think there's a guy Les Silverman I worked with. So Jeffrey Silverman. Short 100 shares at 50, and I sell a 45 put at 2. So short 100 shares at 50 and sell a 45 put at 2. So that means it's a covered put because whenever you're covered, you're selling. So if I do the break even, since it's 2 sells, remember when you have stock and an option, it's always stock plus or minus premium. So if I short at 50 and I short at 45 put at 2, I'm going to take the stock and either add or subtract. Since it's 2 sells, I add. So I'm going to do 50 plus 2. My break-even's 52. 5-2. My break-even's 52 because it's stock plus premium. Hope we're okay with that. Stock plus premium. Now, and I'm bear, so anything down makes money. So here's 52 and down arrow break-even. Now, if I go up, here's the way to remember it. Whenever I have 2 sells, I have unlimited loss. So here, 52 is my break-even. It's going down. If I go up, there's nothing stopping me from losing money. So I have unlimited loss potential. Now, if I short stock at 50 and I have a 45 put, so I have a 52 break even and a 45 put, the difference between the break even and the strike price is my gain. So that's 7. So let's do definitions. Covered put, since it's 2 sells, you have unlimited loss. Break even is stock plus premium because it's 2 sells. If it's 2 sells or 2 buys, you add. The max gain is the difference between the break-even and the strike price. A covered call, the max gain is the difference between the break-even and the strike price. The break-even is stock minus premium because it's buy stock, sell a call. And the max loss is difference between break-even and 0. That helps. Hope that helps a little bit. Or here's the thing, Jeff, you just join my membership and you will rock it every time. Laundry, taking it tomorrow. That's awesome. You taking it with the other man. I love it. Okay. Drew and Laundry going to nail this thing. They're going to nail it. Okay. Laundry, I appreciate it. Okay. Alex, I don't know if he's still here. It's been 20 minutes. Boom. No, Alex, you are the fucking man. You are the fucking man. Boom. I love it. We'll go back to Alley Road. That is outstanding. I'm so happy for Alex. How great does it feel to be done? Think it, 763 done. You don't have to think of everything anymore. Yes, Lonry, I agree. No, this is the thing. I have 58 people on here between different places. I want everyone to say on here, I'm going to pass the test. Carson, you're definitely going to say this. Everyone going to take Lonray and Drew, you're going to tell me you're going to pass the test. Lonray already did it. You're everyone else's turn. Okay. 2 and 7 and 30. You've been watching our videos. Okay. Let's go. No, you don't need luck. We don't need luck where we're going to. You're going to do it on skill. Make sure you don't take any tests tomorrow, right? Guys, remember, when you're taking the test, don't take any exams the day before. Just focus on the customer accounts and knowledge. What's your advice in trying to remember multiple formulas? Don't sweat the formulas too much, okay? Jeff's going to fall asleep on me. So I know I'm kidding. So don't worry about the formulas too much. Here's the thing. These are the formulas you have to worry about. Debt coverage ratio and inventory turnover, do not worry about, okay? Don't worry about that at all. Debt coverage, just know that it's for revenue bonds, okay, to see if we have enough. Here are the things. So other than options, for the high-level stuff, current yield, total return, tax equivalent yield, earnings per share, PE ratio, maybe. Convertibles for sure. Maybe a preemptive right thing. I said tax equivalent yield. The other options, those are the high-level ones. Oh, and maybe in current yield. I mean, you're not going to do yield to maturity, yield to call. Don't worry about the balance sheet stuff. It's the balance sheet stuff. It's just not a thing. Okay. Kohler pop. We'll get there. Hold on. Yeah, BDC business. So Lily said some stuff. That's great. Okay. How have you doing? Well, how should I be feeling? My 7 is on 421. I was using PP. I was using a PP. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, we're there. That's awesome. Ben, so your scores are going up. I was about to say I feel bad because they're going down. You're going to get there. If you're passing Kaplan or close to passing Kaplan and you are 20 days away, you are ahead of the game. You're in great shape. You're rock solid. Okay. Okay, best program for the 66. Now, here's the thing. So if you want to buy one, by STC. If you want to buy two, here's a better one. By STC or Achievable, either one. And buy the Kaplan QBank. That's always the best way to do it. But here's the thing. So I love Achievable to teach it, but a lot of people worry because the questions don't look like the exam. So whether you buy STC or Achievable, I tell everyone to go to get the Kaplan QBank. It's like $50, $40. And there's some discount codes out there. If you go in the Facebook group, you can find discount codes and stuff like that. And if you call Kaplan, they'll give you 15% off. If you just call them right up, they'll give you 15% off. But yeah, if it's a standalone, I think Achievable is fine. Their questions are hard, but they don't mimic the exam. But STC, their questions are closer to the exam, and they do a good job. Like I wouldn't buy the Kaplan program on its own because nobody else sells the QBank. It's like if I can get STC to sell just their QBank, I would say buy the Achievable, buy the QBank. I'm telling you right now. Okay. Okay. Oh, Ted, this thing is awesome. Go to Glance LED. I love this thing. I got this one from Glance directly, and then I got this one from their Kickstarter thing, and then I bought a 5-footer that I gave to my son. It's like 5 feet. I can't fit it in here. Okay. I was like, it'd be on my head. I'd have to do it vertically. But one day I'll have it wrapping around the whole thing. Okay, so now. But the thing is they don't work together, so it's not like you can have the thing wrap around the whole room. But I love you can put sports scores in there. See, look. Villanova. Is that what's going on? Right, okay. I usually put the Yankees up there. Okay, so now, let me go back to this. So Lily, yeah, business development companies. They're like PE firms for regular people. It allows... It's BDCs are like for like you know what a PE firm is? They buy small and medium-sized companies, help them bring public, and kind of save them. So a BDC is the same thing, but you don't need to be an accredited investor because PE firms and venture capitalists, you have to be an accredited investor because they're hedge funds. So this allows retail people to buy into this. Okay, so Lily, you had to do the math on the accrued interest, or just understand it? And variable life insurance. That's interesting. So maybe when people ask that, I have to start doing it. I've been blowing them off all the time. Okay. Yeah, Paula, I agree. Read the book, baby. You're doing it. Read the book solid, straight through, then join the group. Do not do the group until you're done with the book. Finish the book first. Don't do questions. Don't take notes. Just finish it. Then do chapter quizzes. Anything under 70, you reread, and we go from there. Okay. 5 or 6 accept questions. See, that's what I'm saying. If you write it on the board, it might help you. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. The worst questions are which of these are not untrue. Yeah, that's Achievable does that too. Which of the following are false except? It's like, oh, my head's spinning. Okay. Okay. Oh, crime. That's true. Crime. That's true. It's a covenant. Crime. C for covenant. R for rate. This is all for revenue bonds. Rate, covenant, insurance, maintenance, engineering. Okay. Greg Kaleo, we're going to get through this. Okay. Okay. So this is a common question. Jeff, did you read this?
I'm reading it right now.
Okay. So this is my problem. Okay. So yeah, I mean, they're not, look, if you want to go to a place that's going to, I mean, New York Life and Northwestern will hire you and sponsor you. Okay. They don't care about your experience too much. Okay. Here's the problem with this. And this is like I understand that you just want to get sponsored, and I am really fighting hard to get them to stop requiring. I did the video. If you guys really want to help, everyone go find my, let's make the Series 7 unsponsorable and share that to your bosses and your compliance people and your managers, because this is the problem. And look, when I first started tutoring, basically everyone I dealt with had rich parents or they had money, whatever it was. So I dealt with a certain type of person. And then once I started the YouTube channel, I started seeing a different type of person coming to me or coming on the channel who didn't have the experience, who didn't have connections and stuff like that. And it's very hard to get a job. So here's the problem. You need a job to get the 7. But sometimes you need the 7 to stand out and get a job. So the problem is, I think it's a gateway. They're gatekeeping the 7. That I think the firms, it would help the firms because they wouldn't have to worry about you failing ahead of time. Because so many times they hire you, and I'll get to Steck what I'm talking about. There's a reason here, and this is the problem. I feel for you, and I'm empathizing with you, but here's the problem. You work for a firm like Morgan Stanley. They give you 2 shots, 1 shot to pass the 7, 2 shots to pass the 66. If you pass the 7 and fail the 66 2 times, we're now 6 months into them paying you and they got to fire you. So they wasted this money. I think if they made it where you can get it ahead of time and maybe limit it to 2 attempts, like you get 2 shots without being sponsored, and then that's it. So you can't just keep taking it over and over again. Then you have to be sponsored to take it again. Here's the problem. So Steck wants to get a 7 so he can get a job, and I get that. But if you go to a shitty firm that will just hire you to sponsor it, here's the issue. I had a guy, Vic. He worked for a company for 5 months. He wasn't even registered with them. But he had this, I forgot what, I think he had the 6, but they didn't hold it. But he worked with them like from August to December 91. And then he got moved to a different firm, whatever it was. 10 years later, that firm got fined and wouldn't pay it, so they got disbarred, or not disbarred, they got banned from the business. It's now on his U4. The fact that he worked for a banned or disciplined firm is on his U4, even though he did not work there during that time. And that's a problem, Stector. I'm trying to give you firms that you can get your license. It might take a little longer, but here's the problem. Any firm that would let you pay them to take the 7, and they don't care if you work, is a firm that will get in trouble in the future. I can promise you that. I doubt there's any firm out there that did this that doesn't have a disciplinary issue later. If there is, I'd be surprised, because if they're willing to do that, what else are they willing to do? So if they're willing to accept money to sponsor them, they're going to have a mark, and they're going to be banned or suspended. And then even if 20 years later you left, that's on your record. So Stack, I don't know any firms. You can probably Google it and look for penny stock firms in Long Island or something like that who might do it to you. Maybe you find a prop trading firm that'll sponsor you for the 7, and you maybe have to put some money up or something. But that's it. I'm not promoting this, so I get it. I feel for you. I understand the dilemma, but I can't, under good conscience, give you the name of firms that are gonna fuck you in 20 years.
And Ken, to that point, I think it's more important to think about your career and your longevity than the short term for the site.
Right. I know. I get it.
Look, people,
100%.
if you remember, just as a sidebar, people who worked at Madoff, even though we're talking about something else here, you put Madoff on your resume back when that happened, nobody would look at you.
Even now, you wouldn't get a job. Even if you had nothing to do with it, you're not getting a job if you work.
Correct. A lot of people didn't.
So, yeah, exactly. They're bus drivers now. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay. Carson, let's go, baby. Come on. Let's not be nervous. Okay. Let's be good with this. Let's not be nervous. Let's think. Don't think nervous. Think we got this. You got to say to yourself, I'm going to pass this thing and we're going to get this. Okay. Stick. Boom. That's Carson. I could see, look, you answered my question for me. You're ready, baby. You're ready. Okay. Boom, on to the 6, baby. Stick, baby. I love it. That's awesome. So let's get on it, okay? And just remember, focus on reading first. The first thing you got to do is read. That's the number one thing you got to do is read. Also, remember, anyone taking the test, remember oh, sorry about that. Technical glitch. Okay, so now, you're going to nail it. Okay. So Heather. Okay. Heather. There's a TikTok thing with Heather about a dump truck. Okay. So now, how do you prepare yourself for wording on the 7? It seems Kaplan adds a lot of extra shit's not needed. Okay. It's hard to do, but I do think, here's the thing. I think the test puts less stuff, less, thought I was going to flash it. No. Less things on the real exam. I'm not saying they don't put distractors, but their questions are much more straightforward. So that's what you have to get used to. You have to, and if there's no way around that, but I am coming out with a video soon that is that's going to help you a lot. I'm in the middle of cutting a video that's going to help you. It's closer to the wording. It's not exact, obviously, because that would be illegal, but it's closer, and it'll get used to the wording. Just remember, the hardest part is understanding that Kaplan and Past Perfect and Achievable and STC try to trick, and Notman try to trick you sometimes. And I don't think the test is trying to trick you. I think the test is trying to see if you know your stuff, and they may throw a little extra stuff in there. But for the most part, like Kaplan, sometimes you got to walk down a winding, dark alleyway to get the answer, where the test will answer that. You'll get the question definitely. You'll know what they're asking. It's just the questions are not that good. Now, what's interesting, what Jeff always said, he said this 10 years ago. Do you remember? So what Jeff had said, the way you know you're ready for the test is when you look at the questions and you see you see the trick. Like you see the wrong answers, you understand what the trick is. I'm butchering this, but the point is, you want to try it?
Yeah, basically, when you're reading the explanation to the answers to the questions, you should know exactly what they're saying in that explanation, but you should also know why they had the 3 other wrong answers. Why
they're trying to trick you, right?
Yes.
Yep. So right, Jeff's saying you can make the connection, right?
Yes.
Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. Just real quick, stick LP640. I don't know if you know that, but that's a car reference. Good taste.
Is it?
Cars. It's a 6.
I did not know that. Look at that.
It's a Lamborghini.
That's from a Lamborghini. Okay.
That's a Lamborghini.
How happy that person is that somebody made that connection.
It's a cool screen name, so I just wanted to call that out. But
okay,
the point is, when you are looking at the questions, so you don't memorize them, understand why they put each of those answers as possible answers and why they're wrong.
Right. Like why they're trying to confuse you. Right. Okay. That works. Okay. That's it. Okay. Okay, Ben, that's the thing. I know you said that, right? So that's not a thing. Okay. That's literally an hour long. If you go in this is what I was saying. If you go into my, hold on. If you go into my, where's my thing? Crash course playlist, my crash course playlist. Where the fuck is it? The SIE crash course playlist. Where are you? Here we go. Okay. It's, what was it? 1, 2, 3, I can't, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. So if you go into the crash course, I'm going to put the link in here, okay? So Ben, I know that you sound like I'm blowing you up, but it's too long, okay? If you go in there, if you go into this, the 5th and 6th video, okay? We'll have to roll it back, okay? Okay, it's not that far. So if I'm only a half an hour behind, right? So if you go in there, the 5th and 6th video are about prohibited activities. I think is that what it is? It's prohibited? Employee conduct and associated persons. And then find my prohibited, I should probably put it in there. Employee conduct and the associated persons. That's all what they can do. Then find my prohibited activities video. I mean, literally the video's an hour. But Ben, you're fine. If you're going to be good, watch my quick and dirty, watch everything in the crash course, and you're going to be ready. That's what you're going to net. Don't worry about the math. Dawn, thank you. Okay. DERP, X date. Oh, no, there's date 15, which is disclosure, approval, trade, option agreement 15 days later. But I just, do I have a mantra for that? I just know DERP. Oh, but here's the other thing. DERP is declaration, X, record, payable, right? So declaration is the first, X and record are the same day, payables last. Declaration, X, record, payable. Walter, does that say creep? Crespo, thank you. Got it, that would be bad. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, the 63, focus on the state stuff. But listen, anyone taking the 63, make sure you focus on the, what do you call it? On the ethics and prohibited activities, I promise you. I'm going to do a quick one for you, Walter, because we're getting late.
I want to take
You know, all my stuff has a theme. It's all like 70s, 80s shit. Okay. So now, because that's when I was a kid. So Walter, it's focus on the regs, but state regs, obviously, but the ethics and prohibited activities are going to kick your ass. Okay. There we go. Greg, baby, going to pass this tomorrow. I know you will. Ben's going to pass. Carson's going to pass. Angelita's going to pass. Brandon's books. Aiden. Boom. Okay, here we go. It's funny. It gaps out. Like I look half an hour before, boom, I'm up 3 minutes later. Okay. Tiffany, you're not going to get much higher. Take the fucking test. Listen. So here's the thing. So you're doing SEC. Maybe go back and do some chapter quizzes on Kaplan. And your score is not. Look, if you get in the 80s, you've studied too much, right? You want to be in the mid 70s, solidly in the mid 70s, and book the test. Tiffany, okay, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to put this on you. 1 week from today, so 1 week minus 1 hour. I want you on here telling me your test date. You can just tell me that you booked it. I don't care about the date. So 1 week from now, I want the window open and you have a test date. You don't have to tell me the date, even if it's 3 weeks or a month out. I don't care. But if you're in the mid 70s in STC, go back and do some Kaplan. So don't do full finals on Kaplan. Do unit quizzes, like 10, 15 questions on each unit, and then come on and tell me your scores. If you're passing them, you're gonna rock it. Okay. Yes, it does expire. So Angelita, it does expire. Sometimes they'll let you open it up for a little bit of money. Sometimes they will, sometimes they're jerks. But again, the Q-Bank's like $50. So not that I'm writing checks for you, but it's not like $400. Okay. Got so many alerts. Okay. Oh my God, Kavita, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about that. But let's go, baby. So back on track. Since you've been out for a while, act like you're brand new. Just read the book, read the book, read the book. Focus on reading it. Join the study groups if you can. I hope everything's okay. That's the most important thing. You had the surgery. Hope they got everything. Hope it came out clean. I hope you're in remission forever. That's my goal. And just focus on reading the book. Try not to talk too much, right? Focus on reading the book. Then do the chapter quizzes, and then join the study groups on Friday nights. We're going to get you through. Okay. Okay. 28 days. Okay. Okay. So, Leo, understand. So if you have a bond here, okay? Now, when you buy the bond, you're locked in, but it's not about buying at a discount or premium. It's that if it becomes a discount. So here we have coupon, current, yield to maturity, yield to call, coupon, current, yield to maturity, yield to call. Remember, coupon's here, yield to call is there. Yield to call is always the last, coupon's always the first. So if a bond, and here's the price. So if the bond goes down in price, boom. coupon, current, yield to maturity, yield to call. Now, why? Because if you buy a 5% bond and rates go to 7, your bond is still saying your bond, and Raymond, I'll get you, your bond is still paying only 5, but all the new bonds are paying 7, so your bond looks like shit. So the price is going to drop, and it becomes a discount bond, but then anyone who buys a bond at that lower price will get a better yield. How do you do current yield? AMP, baby, AMP. Annual over market price. AMP, annual over market price. So then now let's try it again. 5% bond, everything's the same. Rates go down to 3. You're still getting 5. You're still getting 5. All those other schmucks are getting 3. So now your bond is paying 5 when they're getting 3. You look better, so your bond is more attractive, so the price goes up, and boom, then it goes coupon, current, yield to maturity, yield to call. Find my bond triangle video. I'll put it in here. Hold on. Bond triangle. Bond triangle. There we go. Look at that. Automatically goes right to it, baby. There. So Leo, go check that one out. That'll explain a lot of it, and it'll help you. Okay. I got you. We're good. Just remember, on a discount, yield to call is higher than the yield to maturity, and on a premium, it's the other way around. Okay. Robbie, no, nothing wrong with New York Life. Okay, hold on. Let me get to Raymond. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll explain what you think I'm saying. Now, just took the 7 for a second time today, 69. I'm disappointed about getting back to it tomorrow morning. Okay, listen, I love that. It's the only time 69 is a bad number, right? Okay, so now we got this, okay? So keep this in mind. Was it today? Okay, today. No. Raymond, Paul Shiv, take tomorrow off. Maybe take Thursday off. Take your time, okay? Do not. You got to kind of recommit, okay? So take a couple of days off. Maybe what you do is tonight write everything down that you can remember. Not for us, for you. Put it in your phone. Save it. I say right. Just type it in your phone. Voice memo, whatever. Save it for later. Don't look at it until you're about to take the test. Then just go back and read. Remember, don't act like you missed by 3. Act like you missed by 31. Just act like you're brand new. Spend the first 10 days reading, then do chapter quizzes, then do finals. You'll be amazed at how much your score goes up just by rereading, because you're going to see things. Oh my God, I saw it in the exam. I saw that. I saw this. Or you're going to start realizing things they bring in will never be asked. Okay. I test an 8 WAS. I don't know what WAS is, but I'm going to assume that you mean 8 hours or 8 days. If it's 8 hours, get off my life and get some sleep. If it's 8 days, start taking finals every day. Okay. Back to this. So Robbie, where were you? Nothing. Here's the thing. Nothing wrong with your life. I love them. I like them. I think they're good. I think their principles are great. I think they're strong. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The problem is that it's eat what you kill, which is fine. So a lot of people that I teach there are entrepreneurs. They have other things going on and stuff like that. So if you can live off no money for a couple months, then that's fine. And that's what it is. And a lot of the guys I know make a lot of money. And here's the one good thing. They support you. They give you, the principals help. They make phone calls. And if you become a winner, right, and you start really making sales, they support you. They give you dinners. They bring you out. They celebrate you. They give you support. You get great payouts. Okay. So that's the thing, Robbie. Some people need salary. Like I was never a salesperson. I mean, I sold for institutions, but it's totally different. You get them drunk, take pictures of them drunk, threaten to show their wife, and then you get to business. That's literally how it is. Okay. So the point is, it's institutional. You can't do that with, good people. So the point is, I never had to sell like that. So I basically just managed accounts and traded. So that's hard for me. I don't know that I've never got a commission in my life. I got bonuses. I got big bonuses, small bonuses, all that stuff, but I never did a commission. You did bond sales, right, Jeff?
I sure did.
Yeah, at UBS, right? Was it?
Phone book.
Right, yeah. How crazy is that? People here are like, what's a phone book? Yeah. Right? Exactly. So I'm going to say one thing, which is interesting. And I don't know, he was doing this. What was it? A consolidated order ticket or something? Do you remember you created that thing? So Jeff is kind of one of these people that kind of try to fix things, even when they're not broke. No, he tries to improve things, right? So they had this was a complicated, antiquated system to when you book tickets and stuff like that, book orders. So what happened was he kind of created his own little order ticket, And they used it. They said, oh, like, I think this is the funniest thing. I love this. This is the favorite part of it. Your immediate manager is like, oh, that's stupid. That's like a temporary fix. And then like a month later, one of the heads of the departments brought it out and said, this is a great thing. Like literally, it was supposed to be a temporary stupid thing. And then people upstairs saw how great it was.
Well, what was even better was that the company had slated $2 million for the project, and I did it for
free. Sounds like the government.
Took 14 months, but I got it done.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like sometimes it just needs a person with a passion and a computer. It's crazy. Okay. So he's just like, he was probably just sick of doing it the old way. He's like, fuck it, let me just fix this. And yeah. But you know, it's funny. Whenever somebody does some sort of marketing and stuff, they never ask the salespeople. Never. Right? They never ask the people who do it all day long. They go, oh, there's some marketing person. Nothing wrong with a marketing degree, but it's kind of useless. The whole point was the marketing think I know what's going to happen, and then they don't talk to the people actually dealing with it. STC does that. They change shit just to change it without talking to the students or the people teaching to say, hey, this is what I'm hearing. So it's what they think is doing. Okay. Again, so Robbie, back to that. So New York Life is solid. Their managers are very supportive. And then what I was saying was that you got a salary and commission when you worked. So were you just commission?
Who, me?
Yeah, when you worked back then.
Yeah, I was just commission.
Right. That makes you hungry, Robbie. It makes you get up every morning and make phone calls because you're like, if I don't do something, I'm not eating. Okay, Robbie, now you're taking the 6 in 2 weeks, averaging 63. Okay, I get it. Well, here's the thing. So this is what I tell everyone. If you're having a tough time reading, if you can get the PDF, go get Speechify. Oh, Maria, go get Speechify. It'll help you, okay? You can have Snoop Dogg, Mr. Beast. You can have Gwyneth Paltrow read you the book. It makes it easier to read. And it's weird how good it is. The AI kind of picks up context, so it doesn't read it like a robot. As one of my students said, having Snoop Dogg read you the 7 book is kind of a vibe. You can't do it forever, but it's kind of cool to hear. Yes, also Robbie starts reading in the morning, not at night. So here's the thing. If you're getting 63s now, you can easily move that up in 2 weeks, but I would spend from now till Friday rereading and watching videos. I promise it'll help. Okay. Maria Delgado. Pass the SEC. I have my 6 on Thursday. Okay. Don't worry about the life insurance too much. That's the life insurance stuff. So don't sweat that too much, really. Where'd my thing go? Okay. I have a life insurance video. I think it's in the 6 playlist. Make sure you watch my 6 crash course. Don't worry about the fees too much. I mean, are you talking about? Do you mean like the what do they call them? Riders and stuff like that? That's probably not that testable. The test is much more about mutual funds and variable annuities, like the insurance stuff with that. The fees on that they'll talk about, but I don't think they're going to do some questions on life insurance and term, but that's more for the life and health. Okay. Pick 6 cards. Good evening. Okay. Kavita, I love it. Love it. Okay. Yeah, if you look in I think Series 7 for Dummies. Series 7 for Dummies, SIE for, I'm not announcing that yet, but Series 7 for Dummies, SIE for Dummies, they'll help you. They do that. Achievable used to sell it. Their book, their PDF of their stuff, but they decided it was a waste. No, if you get the Series 7 for Dummies, you're gonna be fine. If you go into not this video, but if you go into any other video I have, scroll all the way to the bottom of the description. I have a code, and I think you get like 10% off. And then you don't even have to. If you click on one of the links for the book, it'll take you Amazon with the discount. And then you'll get to you can scroll around and get the discount there. Okay. But again, on the Kindle is probably the dummy stuff. Okay. Yeah, Northwestern Mutual is the same way. They're pretty supportive. I think they get like they give you a laptop. Like, here's the thing with the New York Life and Northwestern, you have to really, really, really. Okay. Oh, Juan, I'll get to him and say, do not leave. I think with the Northwestern Mutual, and you have to, and same with New York Life, you got to make sure you get with a partner or a principal who's proactive and wants to help you. Because they're always, every firm has jerks who don't want to help, right? Who are lazy, they just want to do their own thing. But if you work with someone, because the Northwestern and New York Life, I think the principals make a cut of what you get. So it helps them to help you get stuff. And that's why I teach for them. Okay. I teach for them like once a month or once every month. I go down there and I teach for them in person. It's pretty good. And they're paying for that, not the reps. Well, what they do is they go, we pay for it. And if you pass within 2 weeks of the class ending, they keep it. If you don't, you owe them $100. It is what it is. Okay. Okay. Juan, for the 4, here's the thing. So the Series 4 is options. STC. For all the principal exams, you want to go with STC. Seriously. Maybe Notman. Okay. But go with STC first. All the principal exams. Don't do Kaplan. I think they overcomplicate it. And here's the surprising part. For the Series 4, it is much more about the regs than it is with the options. The options are there, but they're not that bad. It's the regs. You got to know the regulations. There's no way around it. You got to know the regulations. That is probably 80% of the test is regulations, 20% is option math. Maybe some theory stuff, but for the most part. Okay. Okay. Ooh, oh, read Human Made. Can you read that, Jeff? While I talk about this one?
Yes.
Okay. Any tips to pass it? Yeah, read the book, read the question, answer the questions right. No, make sure you watch my crash course on it, and make sure at least on Friday, go through a quick thing through customer accounts. And as I tell the other person, ethics and prohibited activities will be the death of you. It's not like it's a whole test, but it's enough to fail you. You got to get the ethics and prohibited activities down and keep going through the broker-dealer agent stuff. Yes, there'll be IAR stuff on there, but make sure the broker-dealer agent stuff you have down cold. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to let you try to answer this first.
Yes, excellent question. I think it really comes down to don't look short term, look long term. Think long term. Where do you want to be?
Now, interesting. Look what he's learning at the same time.
Yeah, I saw that with Python.
Right. So here's my thing on this. So here's right. Think long term, not short term. But here's the thing. So my son's in computer science. Okay. And he is one of his teachers from NASA. Okay. He helped. Literally a rocket scientist. And he goes, literally, AI can do anything. He was joking, but he goes, become a plumber, become an electrician, become a trade, you'll make a lot more money. He said, in about 5 years, AI is going to do all the coding and everything.
There's already coding guides that
Claude.io. I know Claude.io I use. So, but he said, but like right now, there's jobs out there where you're a human being and you can make money testing to see if the AI is right. But as my son said, in about 3 years, in a year, they'll have an AI to test if it's right. Because if you go on, this is okay. Let me say something. This I have to say. I saw it on Reddit. A lot of people are using ChatGPT for questions, which is fine. 100% on board with that. But you got to double check their shit because they still. If you go on. Everyone right now, if you go on ChatGPT, ask what regular way settlement is, it'll tell you T+2. They're not up to date on that stuff. They're not solid. That's the thing, is that you can use them for questions, but you got to double check their shit. Like I've done that. I've written, you can say, give me a comprehensive exam for the SIE. It's not going to be the same. It's going to help you, but it won't give you the same weighting. The wording won't be the same, and they could be wrong. So just make sure that and it's great if you say, it's much better for create 4 questions on convertible bonds or like that, or explain to me like I'm an idiot. Like if you watch my video and you go, I still don't get it. He's an idiot. He talks too fast. He mumbles. You go on ChatGPT and explain to me, give me an example of that. That works. Okay. Okay. Now, Brian. Okay. So no, you read one book. And if you're going to read either one, I would read STC. So Brian, if you're already through past perfect, then it's fine. You don't read 2 books. You do the STC because it's an easier read. And if you're already through past perfect, fine. It is what it is. Get through STC, then do chapter quizzes from both. And if you get it wrong on past perfect, find it in the past perfect book. If you find it wrong in STC, find it in the STC book. You can't read both. But I do like multiple vendors as far as questions go because it keeps your mind agile enough to keep going back and forth. That's the big thing about that. Okay.
I was going to say the same thing. I think the value there is in the questions of keeping you not getting stuck in the way that they phrase the questions. But
yes, question bias. Yeah. So it happens with Kaplan, STC, all of them. You start learning how they ask the questions, and you do better just because of that, right?
Exactly.
Okay. For the SIE CLO, it's fine. Anything beyond that, oh, you are studying for this. You can get through it. I don't love them, but they're good. They will get you past the test. If you use my videos and training consultants, and their videos are okay. I don't know if they still use Tina. I mean, it's funny. Her voice is so annoying, like really bad, but everyone says they remember. That's the thing, is that it's annoying, but they remember it. So that's the thing to look forward to. So I think they're okay. I think if you use my videos to supplement it, and maybe if you can afford it, okay, since you haven't scheduled your exam yet, it's been open, you have 3-4 months, maybe spend the $40-50. And if you go on my Facebook group, the FINRA and Test Prep Exam Network, you should be able to find a code that'll cut your cost. Okay. That'll help as a backup question thing, because training consultant's fine. I just think, and then for the 7, maybe get a vendor, unless you have to use them. Oh, and just book it for like 3 weeks. Well, no, here, I'm kidding. Once you pass 3 finals in a row, then take it. Okay. Then book the test. Okay, here we go. Are we all caught up? We're going to be done soon. Now watch. I'm leaving in 3 minutes. I'm going to get like 5 questions as I go off. Okay. Failed the 7. Okay. So Derek, come on, let's go, baby. Okay, right now, put in your calendar. So you have to do something. If that means you join the Facebook group that we have and join a study group, sometimes people join the study group literally just to be held accountable. That they know that they're going to meet 2-3 people that they know every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So they have to do something. They don't want to be embarrassed. It's kind of like when I join a book club, I never read the book, and it's just I look like an idiot. I try to pretend. Okay, like they talk about Little Women. I said, oh, it's about short women, that kind of thing. So understand. So you failed it in January. That's fine. It is what it is. Get the fuck over it, Derek. Seriously, fucking stop fucking around. Let's go. Okay. You got to get this. Okay. So I want you to find 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon to study, and you're going to do that. And I want you to check in with me Tuesday. If that also. Join the Facebook group. Post in there that you want to join. Join a study group. There's a chat for that for each test. Go in there and see who's doing a study group. If not, let them join. They can join it. Okay. Let's see. I know I have a notification on there, but that's fine. Okay. So now let's go with this. Okay. I think I have a really solid best one too. Okay. Oh, Gabriel. Yeah. Find my Series 7 crash course. Okay. Oh, for the Facebook group, I can do that. Hold on. Facebook. Everyone, I'm putting the Facebook group in here. Once it loads, because I have the slowest computer in the world sometimes. I don't know what the hell's on my computer. I'm afraid to bring it in because they'll never look at me the same. Okay, hold on. They'd be like, what the hell are you looking at? Okay, so now, there you go. Okay. Gabriel, find my 7 quick and dirty in the guerrilla style. Find my crash course. You're going to rock this thing. And by the way, you're getting 84s and 81s on Kaplan. As long as you're not memorizing, you are fucking solid. Okay. Okay. It's not that deep. If you got to find my economics, I just did a short on economic policy. And right before it, I did right before it, I did the 4 tools of the Fed. So you got to know what the Fed does. You got to know monetary versus Keynesian. You got to know technical versus balance sheet for the SIE. You have to know what the Fed can, the 4 tools of the Fed plus Keynesian versus fiscal policy versus monetary. That's the stuff you got to know. Find my economics video. Let's see if I can find it. Economic. Let's see what shows up. Here we go. Is this for the SIE? No, I don't want the short one. There we go. No, you don't need that. You actually want the. Here we go. If you can learn, it's a 25-minute video. If you can learn most of this, you'll be fine. That's my economics video. Okay? Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. It's the economic stuff you never know. You just never fucking know. You don't know what they're going to ask. It could be, what does the Fed do? What is not? They could say, what's technical? What's fundamental? I don't know what they asked, but that video should help you as much as you need to. And you may not get anything whispered. You may not get anything. Okay. Watch my crash course. No tests on Thursday. Today's Tuesday. So you can take a test tomorrow, but not on Thursday. Reread. If you have SDC, find their crunch time facts. If not, whatever. Reread mutual funds and annuities and read customer accounts and correspondence the day before. So on Thursday, read or watch the videos on correspondence and customer accounts. It's high target shit and it's super easy. Okay, we'll let you in a second. Hold on, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Boom. That's not you. That doesn't look like you. Maybe you answered the questions to let you in already. Sometimes it lets you right in. Okay. Let's see who else. Oh, there we go. You just joined. Okay. You go to UTEP, huh? Okay, good stuff. Okay. CeeLo, baby. Okay. You're living in El Paso. It's nice weather down there. Okay. Okay. I think we did some damage today. We got an hour and a half. That's fucking crazy. Okay. Everyone, thank you for staying on here for this long and suffering through my rantings. Don't forget, I'll see you in 1 week minus an hour and a half. Remember, Thursday nights is for the 63, 65, 66. Tuesdays is for FINRA. If you want to join the membership, go and hit the join button or email Jeff and he'll walk you through it. Or I'll show you the links. It's easy stuff. We meet for the SIE, do not join. So, got it. Do not. If you're taking the SIE, do not join the memberships. It won't help you. But if you are taking the 7 or the 6, even 6, save your money too. If you're taking the 7, join. We meet on 7 p.m. for the FINRA stuff, 8 p.m. for options, and you get access to my options videos, which are fantastic. I'd say biased, but I'm going to say based. Okay. Anyway, you all have a good night. I will see you guys on the flip side, the flippity flop. And see, where is my video? Oh, this I love. I'm going to get my video gets demonetized for this, but this is my favorite mashup thing. And please stay for the end. I promise it'll feel good.